Kiss FM. Spencer, Alek, and Anthony, we've been talking about them. They're here in the studio. They are, as you know, if you heard them here last time on the show, real-life heroes, the train heroes from the Paris train attack in 2015. They stopped the gunman. Hundreds of lives were saved. 3 guys. And now, here's what's so interesting. One of the reasons they're back, but what's so interesting is that they have been cast by Clint Eastwood to play them in the movie of what they already did. And
mind blown, right? Mind blown.
Great to see. I know it's great to see you all.
When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
It's pretty crazy.
The whole thing is kind of ridiculous.
It is. But, well, let's start. Spencer, you're from Sacramento, right?
Yeah, we all are.
Everybody's from Sacktown. So, and you, Spencer, you enlisted in the Air Force. When did you first meet Alek and Anthony?
Well, actually, I met Alek when I was about 5 years old. Our moms are still neighbors to this day. Aww. And then we met Anthony in middle school. So collectively, as a friend group, we've been friends since we were about 12 years old.
Okay, and I met Alek when he was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Just retracing our steps. So the headline version of what happened for people who don't know why they're making a movie about this.
Basically, the headline version is 3 Americans, 2 of them being off-duty servicemen. We were on a backpacking trip in Europe, and long story short, a gunman entered our train. We realized, we looked back and initially just saw him enter, and then within seconds, Spencer gets up, Alek gets up, then I get up, and the 3 of us basically subdue him. He had shot a passenger previously to that, and then after that, Spencer recognized that he had been shot and had some EMT training and went over, saved his life.
And he makes it sound so perfect.
It's a casual day.
You said the headline version. You said the
yeah, but no, I mean, everyone in the world was talking about this new story when it went down. And of course, for you guys, you acted amazingly under pressure. Was it instinct? Is that what you all tapped into?
I mean, yeah, really. I mean, it was just like kind of like a feeling of just not wanting to die. It was fight or flight. I mean, you're on a train going 200 miles an hour in the middle of the countryside. This guy's got an automatic AK-47. There's nowhere to go. It was either, get up and try and do something or sit there and wait for him to shoot you.
Wow.
And Alek, did you guys ever go back and have the remainder of your trip together?
Not exactly. That's kind of the cool thing about doing the movie, though, is like we got to do like the same trip over again, but with Clint Eastwood. So it was a lot more fun.
We shot in a lot of the same exact locations that we went on our trip. We even took the same train from Amsterdam to Paris to film the fight sequence on the train. So, I mean,
he's officially the 4th member of our crew now. So
yeah.
Well, reliving it. So it's bizarre. I don't know. Maybe there have been cases, but not to my knowledge off the top of my head. You were cast as you by him to relive this for the film. Were they ever considering actual actors prior?
Yes, they were. That's kind of the cool thing about it is we were kind of like an 11th hour decision. It was only, they'd been casting for over a month. And so they called us down to LA and we thought we were going down to meet the actors that were playing us. And then that was when he asked us to play ourselves in the movie. But that was only 3 weeks before filming. And so
you didn't know you were going to be asked to star in the film?
It was something that never even crossed our minds. We had people come up to us and be like, oh, hey, who's going to play you in the movie? Are you going to play yourself? And be like, stop it. No, we're not going to. We want the movie to be successful. And then
what were you guys doing at the time? Did you have jobs?
I had just gotten out of the Air Force.
It was the perfect timing in all our lives. So it kind of like happened to us at the right time. I had just graduated college. He just got the Air Force. He just got out of the
I was still in, but they luckily gave me a little bit of leeway there for the movie, luckily.
You're listening to the voices of Spencer Stone, Alek Seacrest, and Anthony Sadler playing themselves in this movie. We'll come back in just a second with these guys. Clint Eastwood's movie. It's so cool and exciting. 102.7 KISS FM. Back in 60 seconds to pay a bill. All right, Ed Sheeran and Perfect on KISS. Spencer, Alek, and Anthony with us. They're playing themselves in the 1517 to Paris, which is the name of the movie, in theaters on Friday. And they're real-life heroes. They were on a train. They took down this gunman. They saved hundreds of lives. And I'm curious to know, for you, emotionally, not reliving it and seeing actors do it, but you truly going back and having to relive all of that. Was it difficult? Was it
not
cathartic?
Really? It was honestly just a lot of fun doing it again with, your two best friends. We had Mr. Eastwood there, and it was, you would think it was kind of traumatic, but nobody died. And for us, only good things have come from it. So it's really for us kind of like just another crazy story in our friendship, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like we've been able to take a really traumatic situation and turn it into a really positive thing in our lives.
Yeah.
And that goes for everyone else that was on the train because, I mean, it was weird being there because not only did we play ourselves, we have Mark, the guy who got shot on the train, playing himself. His wife plays herself. We had the same train employees, medical team. Chris Norman, the Britishman who tied up the terrorist afterwards, plays himself. So
Really?
that was weird. And I
It's
mean,
like
there
a
was
documentary.
Yeah.
one particular scene I felt like I truly had a flashback was Mark was bleeding out. His carotid artery was severed. And so they recreated our injuries. We're wearing the same clothes. We're literally on the train. It's Mark, it's me. We're saying the same exact things we said to each other on the day of.
Oh.
And I just felt like I completely forgot anyone was there. And then I hear Clint Eastwood say, cut. And I'm like, oh, there's people in the room. And then I look up and I see him just standing there looking at the monitor. And he has this facial expression that I'll just never forget. I don't really know how to describe it. But I look behind him at the rest of the crew and everyone else, and they all had the same exact look on their face. And it was kind of like a feeling in the train like, wow, that was reality. Like, that's not fiction. And that happened to us. And I felt like everyone got to witness what exactly happened on the day because everything in the movie is spot on. It's accurate. It's to what happened.
I think it's going to be so powerful.
Yeah.
What was Clint like to meet?
Clint is everything you would expect him to be and more. We kind of went into it. He's this icon, so we're kind of nervous going into shooting a movie and that we never even tried this before. But he puts himself on such a relatable level, which is crazy, having him be A-list for 50, 60 years. But he really just melted right in with us and took the weight of shooting like a feature film off of the whole project. So he basically made it such a chill environment that it just made it easier for us having acted before to kind of melt into everything.
He's really just as cool as you would think and more. Like, that's probably the best way to describe
He
it.
really kind of mentored us through the process too. Like, he not only made a movie on our lives and directed us, but he would take time afterwards to go work out with us. We would have beers, eat together, and it really is truly like he's another member of the group.
It's so amazing. Great character. You guys all have such great character, and you'll see the characters that are the character in the movie. It is the 1517 to Paris. It really happened. You got to check it out in theaters on Friday. Spencer, Alek, Anthony, great to see you, boys. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, man.
I think I'm at the age now where I call them boys. That's a real depressing moment. All right, boys. Let the kids go. Party tickets will get you in next.